Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Luz, and all I do here is practice fluency with ESL discussion materials that are free and very much available online. Today I'm going to be using material from the ESL.com website. I go by alphabetical order, so today I was going by the letter L, and the topic that I chose was learning. We have 10 questions, so let's get straight into them. So question 1, what comes to mind when you hear the word learning? So when I hear about the word learning, I'm definitely thinking about formal learning, like organized learning in a school or on-demand courses that your employer asks you to take in order to certify in a specific type of area. I'm thinking about very formal and organized type of learning that you actually have to do. Question 2, what do you know about learning? Well, I know a lot of things about learning because I have successfully been able to learn a few things in my life. I know that first and foremost, for a person to learn about any type of topic, they would need to be seriously interested in the topic. Otherwise, it's kind of not even worth it. They wouldn't even be able to sit down and concentrate. So I think interest is really important. The second thing that is really crucial to learning is coming to terms with the consequences of learning it. Is this thing worth learning? Is it going to improve your life or not? Because you don't want to be spending a lot of time learning about things that are not immediately useful in your life. I know a lot of people read books, and I think I'm on the same boat, and I just read for entertainment. I could read about vampires, for example, or fireflies, but this is because I'm curious about different types of fiction and I want to explore that. So you would definitely need to be very interested in the topic. Second of all is I think you have to kind of establish how you learn best. Are you an on-demand learner? Do you need to be seated in front of a teacher, for example? Do you work well in groups, for example? I think these are some of the things that you need to establish long before you choose a topic that you want to study or learn about, and long before you actually sit down to start the learning process. Yeah, those are a few things that I know about learning. Question 3, when do you think we first start learning? Well, according to what I have read and heard, I gather that babies are able to start picking up the sound of the voice of their own mother. They become very familiar with it. Even right after they're born, they are also able to start learning about their environment. They're very sensitive. In a room full of people, they would kind of know who their mother is. That's probably something they had to learn from a very young age, because where do you get that experience? And also when they start feeding as well, they have to kind of learn that very quickly. Otherwise, the mothers start getting really worried about that. I think we start learning from a very young age. Question 4, what kinds of methods of learning do you like best? Well, so I really enjoy online or virtual on-demand courses that are self-paced. I think one thing that I like to do is not give myself too much pressure, especially when I want to study. I want to set out a time that is very specific to what I want to pursue, and that includes learning as well. I don't want to be pressured. I want to take my time with the material. I'm definitely big on on-demand courses. Also, I really do enjoy group discussions or situations where I have to brainstorm. I feel like it's a very relaxed setting, and usually sometimes you just kind of understand your friends and how they speak and what they try to convey. I feel like it's a shortcut to having to go through the material if your colleagues already telling you what's going on. So that's really invaluable. Question 5, why are some people better at learning than others? Well, without going into the issue of IQ, I think the people who are good at learning are people who have spent enough time with the material to kind of discover what's going on. And usually they would tend to kind of have discovered that after spending enough time with the material and kind of getting the hang of the concepts that they're trying to study or grasp at the time. So I would definitely say that the people who are better at learning than others are definitely spending more time with the material as well. They're very comfortable with learning a certain way or learning at a specific time. I know I've been able to be in environments where people learn with their earphones in, and I've read a lot of articles about why this is a good thing to do, and I can't even get myself to do it. I can't listen to something and study at the same time. So question 6, do you have any learning difficulties? Well, apart from concentrating on things that I'm not very much interested in, I cannot really say that I have any learning difficulties. I definitely feel like I learn better when I'm not rushed. Is that a learning difficulty? I'm not really sure. I really enjoy learning in English because it's the language that I understand best and I've used the most. If the material was in another language, I would definitely have difficulties learning. Apart from that, I'm not sure that I have more difficulties learning. Question 7. What is the best learning experience you've had? Well, I think this has to be when I was in Thailand and we had to go ATVing on this valley that was really, really sandy and it had really dips and really steep climbs. So I had to learn really quickly because the trainer person or the instructor person was on top of his own ATV, taking on the terrain like a champ, and there I was right behind him trying to take on the terrain as well. So that was the most exhilarating experience of my life. I remember enjoying the experience a lot. Yes, that must have been the funnest learning experience I've had so far. Question 8. How can you make sure learning is always fun? Well, first and foremost, by being interested in the topic that you want to study. It would be really, really difficult to make sure that learning is fun when you're not even learning about something that you want to learn about. The other thing is just to keep the space decluttered. I know for sure that this goes a long way to help you concentrate on the thing and the task at hand. We all know that the better you can focus and concentrate on something that you're doing, the less time it's going to take anyway. So why not just get started just focusing on the thing and just get it over with. The last thing I would say, if you're a person who loves to annotate like me, like working with really cute stationery, pens, notebooks, flashcards, index cards, something like that, will go a really long way to making sure that you enjoy your learning experience and make sure that it was fun as well. Question 9, do you think you'll always be involved in lifelong learning? Yes, absolutely. So we live in the digital age, and I think there's a lot of information out there waiting for us to read and discover. So I'm definitely a person who's interested in a lot of new things, and I kind of do these deep dives to kind of go into the topic to find out as much as possible before I moved on to the next topic, for example. So there's a lot of learning to be done, and I find it to be really, really exciting, especially if I can find it in a book or in a podcast or in a YouTube video. I'm down for learning. Question 10, do you think learning by doing or learning by listening is best? Well, I think learning by doing is the most fun because you're not just sitting there just being really, really bored. And we all know that with listening, a lot of people just hear, different things. We could be sitting in a room and one person heard one thing and I heard the other. But I feel like with learning, you're able to test out what you actually heard. So for me, I feel like the lessons are learned much quicker when you can apply them and see the results in real time. So I would definitely go for learning by doing. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. Let me know if you would have answered these questions in the same way. And thanks for watching guys. Bye!